Hey, welcome to the Kaibo. We're not going to get right to it quite yet. I want to tell you about this race. It's a little different than races I've shown on this channel before. This is a fuel saving race. The fuel consumption is set to ×6, and that makes it difficult to go the whole race on one tank of gas unless you do some kind of fuel saving. So I want to show you the fuel map. This is in the bottom center of the screen. We'll be referring to it during the race. I have this power to lean thing I can dial in. I'm not going to be using that to save fuel. I'm going to be doing something different. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. It shows remaining laps, and that's based on the driving I've done so far, and it could change if I change the driving style. So I prefer to refer to the fuel percentage there, and I know in an 8-lap race I can use 12.5% per lap, so I go conservative and just use the whole number 12. That'll give me 4% back at the end of the race to play with. We'll see what we can do with this. We are at Bathurst, Mount Panorama in Australia, in the Popsicle Nissan Silvia. Popsicle, a tasty treat in the summer heat. Popsicle. And this is my own personal livery. I'd love some comments, some help with the livery. Specifically the wheels. Should they be blue, or should I have gone with orange for those wheels? I don't know. Or white, or black. I don't know. Please let me know. Any advice you can give me there would be helpful. Okay, and we're off. I'm starting in the mid-pack, P7. I normally don't like that, but here it seemed to work out pretty well. We all kind of keep to ourselves as we start the race. Nobody's bunching up too badly. It's a nice corner to do that, nice first corner. So here we go. I'm behind Esty, and what I don't know is that everybody in front of me is on medium tires and they're not fuel saving. I'm doing this on the hard tires. The hard tires are mandatory, but you can also use the medium if you like. Here Esty gets a little wiggly, so we'll take P6 from him. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to use the hard tires through the whole race. They will last the whole race, and if I do proper fuel saving, the fuel will last as well. And that should be the strategy of choice. However, what I learned later was everybody else in front of me is on mediums. That's why they're pulling away. That's okay. I just keep telling myself, race your race. It's been an interesting week, and it has gotten me to this place where I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Up the hill, across the top, and down the hill. Oh, there's some smoke. Where there's smoke, there is trouble. And it looks like we have double trouble here, so I will take P4 and move on down the hill. I'll tell you, I used to hate this track until I figured a few things out, until I did like 1,000 laps on it and finally figured some things out. And now I love this track. It has some technical sections. It has these long straightaway. This one in particular is really great. And it looks like we have a big buffer ahead of us and some people kind of close behind us. But as we head into this corner, we're going to check the rear view mirror and see that there's trouble. I think all three of them went off the track, and that just increases the bubble behind me, and now I'm really by myself. So let me talk about this fuel saving I'm doing. I'm short shifting. If you watch the shifter, the rev bar there in the center of the screen, I'm shifting when it gets to between halfway and the gear number, and that should give me enough fuel. It should save enough fuel for me to make it the whole race. We'll just shift when it's right about there. There we go. Instead of winding it out. Now it's going to cost me a little bit in speed, but I'll make up for that by not having to go into the pits for 23 seconds or something. So we're going to move ahead to lap 3 up the hill. We have this yellow Ferrari behind us, and he's also on medium tires, not fuel saving. He wants to pass, and he's really gaining quickly on me up here. He has he has a lot of speed just from the car, but he is also oh look, somebody's off on the left. I'll take P3. Ooh, podium already. Well, not yet. He gives me a bump, but it doesn't seem to cause too much trouble. I'm not going to mess this up here on the straightaway. I'm just going to wind it out, but you get up to speed and then just keep it off to the right and let this inevitable pass happen. That car really does have a lot of good straightaway speed, and there's really nothing I can do about that. Now here's where something interesting happens. He's going into the pits, and I don't understand why at the end of lap 3 he goes into the pits. He has medium tires. I would want to use those mediums as long as possible throughout the race, but I'm not going to complain. If he wants to give me P3 and take away the pressure that was behind me, I'm not going to complain at all. I'll take that. And we will advance now to, where are we going? Later on this lap, top of the hill. This happened. Yeah. So if a car skids into the wall and no one's around to see it, did it really happen? I won't tell anyone if you don't. Be our little secret. But that did allow JXG7, who's right behind us, to actually catch up to us. He's now just 1.5 seconds behind, and he's closing in. I do have to remind myself I was the seventh place in qualifying, so most of these people have a better pace than me, including him. He's also in the Nissan Silvia, and he'll be gaining on me for sure, getting bigger and bigger in the rearview mirror. He really got a good run through there, and he's really up just about next to me in this corner. Now, I'm in P3. Watch what happens when I cross the line. Somebody was in the pits, and I'm now in second place. I give him just 1 car width room to get through there, and I'm going to hold on to P2 right now. I'm not messing around down this straight. I'm just going to take the defensive line on the right. It's defensive because the corner up ahead is a right-hander, and he will have to go the long way around the outside if he's going to try to pass me, but that's really not going to work. And I do hold on to P2, at least until the next corner. Oh look, it's the next corner. And we just have some really good close racing here. It's a beautiful thing. He's on the medium tires. He's kind of taking it easy. He knows that I own the racing line. As long as I can stay on the racing line, he will have to do some kind of awkward thing to get around me, and that's just not going to work because he's not that much faster than me. So I think he tags the wall back here just a little bit, and that's going to slow him up a little, and he's still within about a half second of me. It's going to be a battle. 3 more laps to go after this one, and we are going to battle. He's in my slipstream and gaining on me quickly. This was a hard-fought lap for both of us. Now here's what happens. He goes into the pits. It really, really surprises me how few people know that this strategy is the better strategy, but I'll take it. And I'm going to be by myself. Huge gap up to first place. No way I'm going to make that up. I'll just take these last few laps and hopefully bring it home in second place. 7th lap now, headed down the hill, and the gap behind me is getting less and less. Lee is back there, and he's a good driver, and I have to respect that, but I also have to make sure I'm going to maintain second place. This lap is going to end up being my fast lap of the race. But here's something I didn't know happened. The leader goes into the pits. If I knew it happened, I would ask myself, is he going to beat me out of the pits? Are we going to get into it side by side when I go past the pit exit? Who knows? But I didn't really realize it until I crossed the line here and I checked the position there, and it's first place. First place with somebody 1.5 seconds behind me, and I'm starting to have thoughts of what has happened this week. Okay, keep those thoughts out of my head. 1 lap to go, a 1.3 second lead, and a very good driver behind me. Now, I am feeling confident. I have been nailing it this whole race, but those thoughts are in the back of my head. One of those things happens, and that's going to be it. I do not want to give up this lead. Heading up the hill, I get a little wide in this corner. Still have more than a second buffer, but he's right there. Now this is a real fine balancing act between not messing this up and maintaining some good speed. So maybe I'm a little more careful than usual going down the hill. Slide it a little bit through there, but we're okay. Get on the accelerator as soon as we can and head down this long straight. 1.4 seconds, and it looks like he's closing in. We're good on fuel. We've been good on fuel this whole race, so I am able to wind it out here. And he's just waiting for me to do something stupid. Starting to feel good. 1 corner left, and I know this corner. I am going to take this race. I am going to take the win. It's amazing. Yes. Yes, indeed. First victory in a long time. Boy, does that feel good. This really was my best race ever. Cool under pressure, working my strategy. It's just a great thing. There's another race here on the screen. I'd love for you to watch that one too. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.